Jack, a wealthy man from America, finds himself battling a disease for which there is no treatment available in his home country. With substantial financial resources at his disposal, Jack consults a friend who suggests that he seek treatment in England. Convinced by this advice, Jack sets off for England, hopeful for a cure. Upon arrival, Jack is admitted to a hospital, where he meets Dr. Michael. Dr. Michael asks Jack, "What were you eating there?" Jack replied, "I was eating what everyone else eats here." Dr. Michael said, "No, you won't eat that anymore. From now on, you'll only eat what I give you." For 14 days, Dr. Michael fed Jack only meat. After 14 days, Dr. Michael asked Jack, "How are you feeling now?" Jack stood up on his own and said, "Look at me, I'm completely fine now," and he was discharged from the hospital. As soon as he left the hospital, he got into a taxi. On the way, the driver asked him why he had been to the hospital. Jack replied, "I went for treatment." Hearing this, the driver stopped the car and asked, "Was your treatment done by Dr. Michael?" Jack confirmed that Dr. Michael had treated him and that he was now completely fine. The driver said, "No, you're not fine. Your real problems have just begun." Jack, puzzled, asked, "What do you mean?" The driver explained, "People say Dr. Michael feeds his patients human meat." Shocked, Jack told the driver to take him back to the hospital. Upon reaching the hospital, Jack confronted Dr. Michael and grabbed him by the collar, demanding to know what he had been fed. Dr. Michael confessed, "I fed you human meat, and in 15 days you will crave it again." Jack cursed Dr. Michael and returned to America. 15 days later, Jack began to crave human meat. He decided to go to a cemetery and dig up a fresh grave for a dead body. At night, he went to the cemetery where an old security guard was stationed. Jack dug up a grave secretly and took the body with him. The next day, he craved human meat again and returned to the cemetery. This time, he found a strong young security guard instead of the old one. Jack thought he couldn't secretly dig up a body this time and decided to bribe the guard. Jack approached the guard and asked about the old guard. The new guard explained that the old guard had been fired because someone had taken a body the previous night. Jack offered the new guard $1,000 to let him take a body. The guard, angry, realized Jack was the one who took the body last night and said, "Now I won't let you go." The guard grabbed Jack, and during the struggle, Jack shot the guard in the head. Jack then took the fresh body of the security guard home and ate it. Afterward, Jack thought if he kept going to the cemetery, he'd eventually dig up all the graves. He decided to start killing people to eat them instead. He moved to a remote mountainous area where only tourists visited. He found work at a hotel. One day, 3 friends came to the hotel and rented a room. That night, one friend received an emergency call from home and needed to leave, but there were no cars available. Jack offered to drive him to the city. The friend agreed and got in the car with Jack. On the way, Jack shot him. 3 days later, the missing friend's family called the hotel, and his 2 friends said he had left 3 days ago. The 2 friends confronted Jack, asking where their friend was. Jack said he had dropped him off in the city and reassured them he would reach home soon. He invited them to have dinner with him, where he served them meat. The 2 friends kept asking about their missing friend, but Jack evaded their questions. They became suspicious and attacked Jack, knocking him unconscious. They searched the room and found a pistol belonging to Jack. When they opened the fridge, they were shocked to find their friend's severed head inside. Horrified, they shot and killed Jack.